Another day just like yesterday. Don't need to go into it. Beautiful, nice wind. Of course, it's spring. Okay, sometimes you reach a place where you can go either this way or that way. Sometimes the decision is brought on by something other than intelligence, such as greed or trying to get ahead of something else at all costs. That's sort of what we have now in the pollution industry, or what I call the plastics industry. The plastics industry has found a new source, fracking gas, and then they take that gas, they put it into what they call a cracker, which cracks the molecules and breaks it down into pre-plastic. It's used in the manufacturing of plastic. We've gone into this before. It wasn't too long ago. But unfortunately, instead of the powers that be not getting the information that putting plastic out there means plastic ends up in the ocean no matter what you do. And the plastic needs to be banned altogether. In fact, manufacturing anything that can't be completely recycled would definitely make sense. Let's continue up and over. I think we can set the camera down because there won't be any people over there, but the wind is blowing pretty hard. Let's see what we can do. So, because of fracking here in the US, we're seeing some peculiar cancers showing up, especially some in Pennsylvania. These are called earwig sarcomas. And apparently is a rare childhood cancer that isn't rare anymore. Because of this, the Democrats put up a bill, finally a good bill, that would impose a moratorium for 3 years to stop new plastic production in the Appalachian area. Gotta stop. People are out. What can I say? So this new bill will stop construction on new plants in Appalachian and other parts of the country for 3 years to investigate the connection between cancer and fracking. These new plants that have been planned and are starting to be built will produce 1.6 million tons of plastic pellets yearly. Now these are the pre-plastic that comes from natural gas. Then there are other plants that produce a massive amount of ethylene for plastic production. That's part of the other part. And they put the pellets with the ethylene, I guess, and I'm not exactly clear how it's made. So the new plans that Trump is part of will expand an ever-expanding network of gas wells, processing plants, and pipelines. And this is all possible by a $1.9 billion loan guarantee from who else? There's also plans for a gigantic underground storage tank. Oh, isn't that? And that's just right there and apparently not too far from the Mississippi River. The bill is called Break Force from Plastic Pollution. This bill would also make it mandatory that plastic manufacturers be responsible for the waste, all the plastic waste around the world. You can see this bill isn't going anywhere. Let's look at this illustration. An extra 800 tons of toxic pollution annually will come from this processing alone. So what kind of outgassing comes from these two types of plastic production? Ethylene, oxides, benzene, and formaldehyde are the big ones. Of course, these cause cancer. We all know it. We've talked about it on this channel before. And not only that, but these plants will cause 13 million tons of carbon, CO2 pollution in the atmosphere per year. We're just cranking up the CO2 production, aren't we, in our atmosphere? Let's see the bill. This is what the bill will do. It's a pretty good bill. I'm really surprised that the Democrats thought about it, or thought it. But could that possibly be because Bernie Sanders is now the front runner? Hey, I know there's a lot of negative talk, but you know those are the trolls. And the trolls are going to be out thicker than ever before to stop Bernie, because they have never had a progressive or a left like this in the White House ever in my lifetime. So isn't it time? Isn't it time that we get health care and we relieve the college debt and start Green New Deal and, transform from a fossil fuel economy over to a renewable economy? How hard that's going to be. And the big one, population control. Let's not forget that one, Bernie, huh? Of course, Bernie's a longtime fan of the pink. So that was pretty nice to see that Bernie has now been top runner on the first 3 states of a primary, and that has never happened before. A lot of people saying he's a shoo-in for the presidency. They're already just shooting their mouth off saying he's already the president, you might as well not even have the election. That's ridiculous. Trump is going to do whatever he can do to become the next president. And if that means that he axes all of Bernie's votes and put his in there instead, apparently, according to him and the Republicans, it's legal for him to do that. So why wouldn't he? He's not stupid. He knows that if he gets out of the presidency, he's going to jail possibly. So he's got to stay in the position forever. Now, Bernie is no Jill Stein. But that's okay. Who says that Jill Stein won't become part of the Bernie Sanders cabinet? Everything's in the air right now, but don't put it off. I mean, if Bernie does get in, we have to push and push and push to get a true left and get the left in to save the planet and all. This is kind of neat. It's just a wall of green. A lot of people are saying it's too good to be true. Bernie will never get in. Yeah, they'll never get in if you give up. Now's when you start to really push and get it done. Don't give up. It isn't over till it's over, is it? I definitely do appreciate all the comments on the last videos. The ups, the downs. And did I mention the comments? And until next time.